So our project is on the Vietnam War. So starting out in the 1960s, the United States had a really small part in like Vietnamese affairs. Kennedy did support the South Vietnamese, and he believed in Eisenhower's domino theory. So he was trying to protect South Vietnam from communism, and he villainized North Vietnam. At first, we had really limited support of South Vietnam because we weren't actually participating in the war. It was mostly like supplies and stuff. Eventually, Lyndon B. Johnson became president, and this was when like everything was kind of falling apart. So he tried to really like formally attack North Vietnam by the Tonkin Gulf Resolution, which is where like they like attacked our ships there. So he tried to use that to convince Congress to like declare war on them. As the U.S. became like more aggressive with like foreign affairs, we launched like different military campaigns. One of them was Operation Rolling Thunder, and this was like an air attack. So we tried to harm like the North Vietnamese forces. But in 1965, we did use the first like ground combat, and all this escalation continued until like it became like an actual like war of attrition. So this caused like internal tensions and like debates and stuff in like America. One of them was the credibility gap. And this was like information from government leaders and stuff didn't really match up with like what the media was telling people. This kind of like started like a mistrust from the people and like the government. The Tet Offensive was a communist attack against like almost all of the South Vietnamese capitals. But we did like a swift counterattack, and this kind of like brought it back to our advantage. So after Johnson's presidency came like the end of escalation of like the troops in Vietnam and stuff, and this kind of signaled the beginning of peace. But then when Richard Nixon came into office in 1969, he really started this program known as Vietnamization, and this withdrew troops from Vietnam, and it got to almost 500,000. So after a failed peace attempt, he started to bomb North Vietnam, and they like surrendered and did an armistice. So the Paris Peace Accords of 1973 kind of like stopped our involvement in the war and caused like a ceasefire, but South and North Vietnam were still going. During Ford's presidency, the fall of Saigon was the real end of the war, and it signaled a win for communism because North Vietnam took over everything. So this was really the end of the war. So yeah.